What's up guys, Perry from Rockville here, and today we're going to go over all of the wires, inputs, and outputs on the back of your RGHR2 marine gauge hole receiver. Now if we take a look at the back of the receiver, you'll see we have all of these different wires, inputs, and outputs that all serve a different purpose for your receiver. Now the wire harness here connects right onto the back of the receiver here, just like this. So on the back of the harness, we have the 12-volt power, ground, accessory, and remote wires. The accessory wire runs to the ignition of your boat, so whenever you power on your boat, the receiver will power on as well. Then we have the 12-volt power wire, which connects to the 12-volt of your house battery. Then we have the ground wire, which goes to the ground terminal of your house battery. Then we have the remote output, which can run to an external amplifier that's powering even more speakers in your setup. And this will make it so that the amp powers on as soon as the receiver does. Now, because we're obviously not on a boat today, we're gonna run our accessory wire to the positive of our battery. But remember, you're gonna run this accessory wire to the ignition of your boat or accessory line if that's available. So to connect these lines to your battery or ignition, you're gonna take some leads, connect one end to the accessory, 12-volt, ground, and remote wire. Then take the other ends and plug them into the connections we mentioned earlier. So the 12-volt will go to the 12-volt of your battery, the ground will go into the ground of your battery, the accessory wire will go into the ignition or accessory line of your vehicle, and if you're using the external amplifier, you're gonna run the remote out to the remote terminal of your amp. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that both are powered by two batteries run in series for 24 volts of power. So you have one engine battery and one house battery. For setting up your receiver, you're gonna wanna run everything we've gone over before to your house battery, including the RCA aux input here that we can use to run external devices like MP3 players, CD players, etc. We also have the USB input, so we can plug in any USB flash drive to play music. And we also have the USB extension cable that we can use, so we don't have to run to the back of the receiver every time we want to plug in a USB drive. We also have two sets of RCA preamp outputs, so we have one for our front speakers and one for our rear speakers. So if you're using a 4-channel amplifier, you can plug the RCAs for your front speakers into 2 channels and the RCA for the rear channels into the other 2 channels. You can also run these to your external powered speakers to expand your setup. We also have the antenna port to strengthen our signal for the AM and FM radio. We also have the RCA sub output that we can use to run to an external powered subwoofer or amplifier that's powering a subwoofer. Again, if you're using an amplifier to extend your setup further, you're just gonna run this remote wire to the remote input of your amplifier. We also have all these different speaker wire to connect the speakers right to our receiver. So we have the front left speaker, which is indicated by the white wires here, with the plain wire acting as the positive and the one with the black stripe as the negative. Then we have the front right speaker channel indicated by the gray wires, again with the plain wire acting as the positive and the one with the black stripe as the negative. We also have channels for our rear speakers, so we have the left rear speaker with the green wires, with the plain wire acting as the positive and the one with the black stripe as the negative. And then the rear right speaker is connected through the purple wires here, again with the plain acting as the positive and the one with the black stripe as the negative. So hopefully this explained to you guys what each of the wires, inputs, and outputs do for your RGHR2. But of course, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to our customer support team through phone or email. As always, I'm Perry from Rockville, and we'll see you guys next time.